And good morning. It's 7:04 on this Thursday, August 22nd. It's time to head to Studio B for Coleman and Company.
Hello, everybody, and welcome. Here we are on a Thursday morning, and we're glad to have you with us and glad to be on the air for Bates Ford, 1780 Franklin Road, right here in Lebanon, Tennessee. And we've got the usual duo this morning. Paul Tubbs, General Manager, good morning.
Good morning.
And Ronnie Kelly in Sales, good morning to you.
Good morning.
Ronnie, we glad to see you again. You were on special assignment last week. My memory's right.
Special assignment, but I'm back.
Selling some cars?
Yes, selling some great cars. Got great cars for sale. We have a lot of used inventory, which is we got the best used inventory we ever had in a long time, and we got the best new cars and new trucks. So we got plenty of those to sell, and the good thing about it, we got a lot of incentives on our trucks, the 24s, and if you come down to Bates Ford and you see one of our friendly sales staff and sit down and talk with them, and they'll give you all the information you need, because we got several different types of incentives. So you need to come down and talk with a salesperson.
Well, I'm wondering, when will the 25s be in? Do you have any info on that, Paul?
You know, one thing that all the manufacturers have changed is used to, like October, they would all come out, and they've changed that now, and it's kind of crazy, but there's different times for different models when they come out, like the 25 Ranger is supposed to be a little bit different body style. So, it's going to come out they started kind of sometimes coming out a little bit early on certain vehicle lines, and then some come out a little later. The 25 F-150 is supposed to be out sometime in late fall, but, they used to. I can remember my dad worked for Ford for years, so I always liked looking at when the models come out, and generally it was October, something like that. But now it's kind of changed. They've done a different little program with it.
Well, it seemed like they made a bigger deal out of it back then, and a big announcement, and come see it today, and the unveiling of the next year's model sometime in the early fall. They don't do that much anymore.
No, I can remember, the 94 Mustang. I had one, and they changed the body style dramatically from the Mustang. But I can remember they did took the vehicle and took it to dealerships and had it covered up and did an unveiling. I can remember going with my dad when I was a kid and seeing where, they would pull the thing off and show you, and made a huge ordeal, and it's not quite that dramatic anymore.
But usually this time of year, if you have an abundance of the current year's models, you can get a little bit better deal if you want to close those out. Is that going on yet?
Yeah, well, what they do is they put rebates on vehicles that, and then also they give you great interest rates. Like Ronnie was talking about incentives, they'll put 0% interest on vehicles, and also they'll give you rebates or 0%. Right now, we've got a lot of what we call the FCTP. It's the Ford Courtesy Transportation Program vehicles, where they'll have 0% interest for 60 months. Plus, they might have $4,000 or $5,000 worth of rebates. We've got Edges and Escapes and different vehicle lines like that. So, we've got a lot of great deals going on. There's good deals going on F-150s and Super Duties. So, you just need to come down and we can put the numbers together, look at it, and see what we got.
Well, Ronnie, you've been doing this for 37, almost 38 years. You can put the numbers together.
Yes, and it's like when we talk about incentives, that's why it's very important to talk to a sales staff, because Ford have changed those also. Sometimes they got certain VIN numbers, you get more money. And like Paul was talking about, some of those cars, you get some great rebates, and 0% plus you get $4,000 or $5,000 of money. So that's why it's very important to come down and sit down and talk with a salesperson and get the best deal.
Well, service is something else we talk about each week, and you're still doing the cheapest oil change in town.
Yeah, our service department's blessed. We're doing a really good job. We've got 12 guys that does just oil change, brakes, batteries, tires. We've got what we call a quick lube area in our shop where, the lifts are quicker and they're set up to do. They got oil reels right there where their station is, so they don't have to go walking and do stuff. So we get oil changes in and out. We get a lot of people that's very call, and they're like could not believe that we can just get right on an oil change. They call other places and they say it's a week or 2 weeks out and things like that. And we're like, no, we work off first come, first serve. So if you bring your vehicle in, we've got a great waiting area. You can come in, we'll get right on it. And, we actually probably do somewhere between 40 or 50 oil changes a day.
Wow. Come in, get in line.
Come in, get in line. We'll get you in and out as quick as possible. One thing, too, is, I don't forget about that pickup and delivery. We have a lot of people taking advantage of that. What you do is just call Shelly and get scheduled. We can do a certain amount per day where we come get your vehicle, service it, bring it back to you. And our oil changes, we probably average, I'd say, 30 to 40 a day, but we get them in and out within an hour, so that's pretty good.
Well, it certainly is, and you had it was kind of it was a good problem to have, but still, when you're to other place, it took a little longer, and this is one problem you really solved when you moved over on Franklin Road.
Yeah, at the other dealership over on West Main, we would stay backed up on oil changes. I mean, it would take us 2, 3, 4 hours. Sometimes we'd get back. We'd have 10, 15 backed up. At the new dealership, a lot of times we'll run out late in the day because we got guys. I mean, we're fully staffed over at the new location. And like I said, with that state-of-the-art, them racks and stuff are set up to move quicker. You got oil reels right there. So we can move stuff in and out very quick.
Well, you got some great deals, and we just try to remind everybody every week, really, not only about your oil change, but about your tires and batteries, because that's another two things I think you really pride yourself on.
Yeah, and there again, at our new facility, we've got 4 tire machines, where at the old one we had 1, so we can get tires done quicker. Ford's got a lot of great deals going on tires. We've got a $100 rebate. We got a lot of people calling about tires. You don't have to come down to Bates. We got a tire you go on the website, we can look it up, give you a price on tires. If we don't have them in stock, and we do stock a lot of tires, we can order them, have them sitting there the next morning. We probably average doing 4 or 5 sets of tires a day, which, if you buy a set of tires from Bates Ford, you get free rotation for the life of the tires. The batteries are $179.95. Most vehicles we can install them in free. Some vehicles you can't, due to the fact it takes a little longer to do it. But the batteries through Ford is 3 years free replacement. Then you got a 100-month proration. So Ford's got the best warranty on batteries in the market.
Well, all of this at Bates Ford, 1780 Franklin Road, and I don't think we've said it at all this morning. The dealer that'll trade for anything and don't eat.
Yes, sir.
You're still doing that, right?
Yes, sir. We're still doing that. That's great.
And you got anything unusual you traded for lately?
We got a big trailer that Tony we put a number on and traded for. We've had customers bring RVs, boats, with several things throughout the summer. We've traded for a lot of stuff, but we got a big, huge trailer that a guy traded in on vehicle. But if you got something you want to turn into cash, bring it to Bates Ford. We'll certainly put a number on it and see what we can do.
That's something that it's outlived its usefulness with you, just sitting around, and you can come in and see what you can trade it for at Bates Ford.
We will certainly do it.
All right. Well, I think we're going to go to a break a little bit early here. MJ, if you're ready, and we'll close it out here for Bates Ford, 1780 Franklin Road. Again, the dealer to trade for anything don't eat. Paul, see you next week.
See you. Have a good day.
Have a good one.
Thank you, sir.
Mm-hmm. All right, let's take a break now here on Coleman and Company, FM 98.9.
All right, let's see what's happening on the roadways. Want to thank our friends at Bates Ford. Get a battery installed in most vehicles. $149.95. Bates Ford, 1780 Franklin Road. Now at traffic, here's Chuck.
Good morning. A car is up against the wall involved in a crash. 24 eastbound at Bell Road. That's what we're looking at live right now. Of course, the heaviest flow of traffic's on the other side of the interstate there on 24 westbound. Coming up through Antioch in from Murfreesboro, Rutherford County. Heavy but moving at the moment on I-40 in from Mount Juliet as you travel down the interstate here on 40 West into Hermitage. Hey, whether you need a new roof repair, roof inspection, independent roofing specialist, check them out, irsroofs.com. I'm Commander Chuck. You're on time traffic.
And now, a moment of silence to remember our dear friend.
Sorry. Oh, man.
Life can be uncomfortable. Your home doesn't have to be. With a wide range of air conditioners, furnaces, and heat pumps, Rheem makes it easy to feel comfortable, even when you can't be comfortable.
Jeez.
Financing available through TVA's Energy Right program and your local power company. Call Randy's Heat and Air 237-3604.
It's time for the Wilson County Fair, Tennessee State Fair, August 15th through the 24th. WANT FM 98.9 will broadcast live from our WCOR radio station in Fiddler's Grove, both Thursdays and Saturdays, and Monday night, too. Our broadcast is brought to you by Birdine Supply, Exit Rocky Top Realty, C&D Team, Re-elect City of Lebanon Mayor Rick Bell, MTE, Newman Dental Associates, Wilson County Sheriff Robert Bryan, and Wilson County Motors.
And we continue here on this Thursday morning. I'm afraid that Fire Chief Jason Baird and I have our wires crossed this morning. I had talked to him 10 days ago about being here today, and he may have gotten so busy with the Wilson County Fair, Tennessee State Fair, that he forgot he was coming this morning, or I could have made a mistake, but I think we were pretty sure of this. But anyway, I do have the Wednesday attendance figures for yesterday from the Wilson County Fair, Tennessee State Fair, and it was another good one. Wednesday, August 21st attendance was 57,379, and that is 22,787 more than last year. And overall attendance to date has already gone over 500,000, with that 57,379 yesterday. The overall attendance now is 501,496, 501,496, which is almost 50,000 more than last year at this time. And I don't think, if I'm looking at this right, I don't believe that the season tickets are figured into that, and there's usually somewhere between 65 and 75,000 season tickets. So if we have that many and have some really good attendance here on today and Friday and Saturday attendance, it's not impossible to hit the 800,000 mark, and that would really be a milestone. But that's the report from the fair, and of course a lot going to be happening today. And Billy Goodman has joined me here. Good morning to you.
Good morning to you.
And what's happening?
Well, I just wanted to remind you that MJ will be broadcasting from the fair later this afternoon from 4 to 6 p.m. And so I want to invite everybody to come by the WCOR building out in Fiddler's Grove to see her and see everybody. And it should be a fun time.
It's a nice little radio station out there.
Yeah, and the weather's great, so we're going to probably have record attendance this year by far.
Yeah. Oh, I think so. I think we will break the all-time record. I'm just I've kind of pulled the 800,000 figure out of the sky or out of a hat or whatever for a long time, and thought if we got good weather, and it's been almost a reverse of last year. Last year the weather was cooler at the beginning, and then it turned hot, and you could just, as it got so hot out there, you could just see it affect the attendance. No question.
Oh yeah, and this year it's cooler already, and it's going to be great. Plus, it's a good fair, and I think one of the things you'll see from people coming out there, it's a great family-friendly event. One of the few places that people can take their entire family and know that everybody in the family, regardless of their age, is going to find something they enjoy, and it's a good, safe place to be. The Wilson County Sheriff's Department is out there with patrols all through it. The Lebanon police are out front directing traffic, so it's a good, safe environment, a good family-friendly environment, and really, in today's society, it's hard to find that kind of thing.
Do you get to the fair much?
Not a whole lot. I will be there this Saturday.
Yeah. Any particular thing that you really like at the fair?
Well,
you like our broadcast.
I do, but one of my favorite things that I always go over and visit, it's right close to our broadcast place, is the model train display.
Oh, yeah.
I'll really enjoy that. They have a huge display, and if you've got kids and they like model trains, they've got a huge display set up with HO scale stuff, and they've got entire towns and airport and everything else set up in a big display. Everybody can come in and look at it, and they've got probably more than half a dozen trains running around in circles, and it's a lot of fun. I enjoy that kind of stuff.
I think that most of that has been done by volunteers, and I know David Brooks over at Liggett and Bobo is big in that. My cousin Larry Norton spends time out there, and of course I guess there has to be maybe a little maintenance done even on those electric trains.
Yeah, if I had the money and the space, I would have something like that set up at home, but I don't. But I was really into that when I was younger and building models anyway, but I really like that, so I always enjoy going over there to see that.
Yeah, you can take that in. That comes with the price of admission,
it
along
does.
with an awful lot of other things.
Yeah.
Well, we are a little bit early to introduce him, I guess, but Jay White has already joined us. And Jay, I'm just going to turn the mic. Billy, you don't have to leave. Turn the mic up here. We got 10 minutes to kill or do something. But how are you this morning?
I'm great, Coleman. How are you?
I'm doing well. You've been to the fair?
I have. I went out the other morning to the chamber. I guess the old time where they introduced the old timers of the fair and got to enjoy that. It was a great morning to be out there. They had a little breakfast.
Dallas and Lillian Plumley and Joyce. Joyce Sampson and Odell and Linda Bain.
That's true.
And we had actually 3 sets, five old timers this year instead of the usual couple.
They couldn't have been a better bunch. I mean, they've devoted a lot of their time and efforts through the years out there, and I remember growing up as a kid that Odell and the Plumleys were out there all the time. Selling tickets or picking up trash or cutting grass, just whatever had to be done to make all that go off as smoothly as possible.
Well, I think Odell's had it made this year. He's got one of those golf carts, and he rides people around.
Well, courtesy cart. He's on the courtesy cart detail out there. So,
right.
I'll have to say that, this year I think it's probably one of the best years out there that I've ever seen. I guess the weather's been so great. Everybody's in a great mood, and, I guess if you're on the inside looking out, you see a lot of trouble, but when you're on the outside looking in, it looks like it's running awful smooth to me out there.
Well, I think for the most part it's been real smooth, and of course, as I mentioned earlier, we went over 500,000 in attendance last night, and so I think we're going to have a record attendance this year, and it's not impossible we might hit the 800,000 mark.
That would be remarkable if we did.
Really,
it would be good for our community, but it's good for our community anyway. It's one of the greatest things that that's happened in my lifetime here.
Well, a lot of places have a signature event. I mean, over at Shelbyville, they've had that horse show for years, and it's kind of synonymous with the horse show, Shelbyville. With the fair, I think, is probably maybe one of the biggest thing that we have here, and maybe we're more noted for that now than anything else.
I agree. If you travel outside of our community and you travel to another state, you say something about Wilson County. A lot of times they'll say, "Well, isn't that where the Wilson County Tennessee State Fair?" Or we've had a lot of folks that come through that and travel in here just for the fair. Just to come and visit. I was watching the news last night. I don't know where you saw it last night or not, but it was one of the news last night. They had a little bit on there, and there was a lady. I didn't know that it existed, but they have a husband calling contest at the Wilson at the fair. Did you attend this? Or
I did not attend that. I've heard of it.
Right. I didn't even know that they had it, but somebody from I think it was in Canada. Ontario, I believe, won first place. But I mean, they were here for some reason they were in and around in Wilson County, and they went to the fair last night and they got in the contest and she won. So they interviewed her. But, she got a blue ribbon and $30.
So I'll bet she keeps the ribbon a lot longer. She keeps the $30.
I'd say she spent the $30 on a iced tea and a corn dog on the way out. But I had no idea that they even had those kind of contests. But there's something going on up there everywhere. I mean, every time you turn a corner, there's something else new to see.
And really, there is something for everybody, young or old.
There is. There he is, and the food is great. You'll just have to say, everybody goes for there's something for everybody, I guess, up there.
Well, do you have any real part in this yourself?
I was on I've helped up there for years. I took a bigger interest a few years ago. I've kind of backed away the last few years. It's good, I think, to keep new blood and new ideas, and you can stay too long, and I hadn't stayed too long. We helped with the FFA ham auction the other morning. We do that, and we're kind of on standby. If somebody needs something, I'll be there to chip in and help in. Helen knows to call when she needs something. We do what we can when we can up there.
Well, speaking of that breakfast the other morning, that place was just about full, and those FFA jackets all over the place. Those young people who were there, and I was impressed with the way that they pretty much helped people with food and so on, and we're cleaning up when it was over. But you see those FFA jackets, they stand out. Did you ever have one of those, by the way?
Oh, I sure did. That was probably one of the organizations that helped me be where I'm at today, and I just think the world of that. I mean, I would when I went, I think I was reporter, vice president, and president of the FFA in our little chapter back in the mid '80s. I went to all the conventions, and I was in Mount Juliet.
Mount Juliet, okay.
Lewis Fletcher was my advisor back then, and I also. Hale Moss, I always say that Hale Moss came to speak to us several times, and we helped back then when I was in the Future Farmers. We helped with the fair. They'd give us we'd go to help set up the cattle barns and that sort of thing, and put up the panels and sweep and clean up the sawdust and all that. They had us working up there then, and my claim to fame when I always get on there. A good friend of mine, Jimmy Comer, he came and spoke to us. He was working for a lending institution, I guess back in the day, for production credit was what we were called then, and he came and spoke to us when I was in school, and I always liked when Jimmy and I are together to tell everybody. I said, when I was in high school, Jimmy came and spoke to us about lending us some money if we ever wanted to go into the agriculture.
Well, he had actually had a role to play the other morning at the breakfast. He was there.
He has a big part of that. He really helps them put that on every year, and I'd like to give a shout out to those two young men that won we were from Wilson County, the Sanders boys. They won champion and reserve grand champion for those hams. And I think one of those hams brought 25,000, and what the other one bring 18 and a half. And so, that just tells you that just what kind of support that the Future Farmers have.
Yeah,
people did.
Corporations kind of combined to come up with that. But then the entertainer helped me out here. I'm drawing a blank, but anyway, he donated his hat with an autographed hat.
That's right. They sold it in
$2,500, I believe.
Yeah, Trey Satchins. Yeah, I like the music as we came in to eat. Did you remember the music that was on? So, but that's a whole diverse. That crowd is from across the whole state. I mean, you get there's a lot of folks there. You can commingle, and those kids can make a lot of connections there that they'll have for the rest of their lives. I mean, it's just a great.
I think it says something for our fair too, that we had both senators and we had two congressmen who were there, and of course Congressman John Rose is really into this thing every year, and then our local reps were there. Susan Lynn and Clark Boyd, and Senator Pody, I think, was there.
And those kids just don't come for that breakfast, and they're from all the way across the state, just different chapters. And there's competitions that they compete in pretty well all day long. I mean, they've got cattle judging, they've got tractor driving, they even have an auctioneer contest out there for them.
Well, I saw Hayden was up there. I helped him.
He was
find who was bidding.
That's true.
Taking care of that. And somebody else that was there, a good friend of mine, Jack McCall, who is now the county mayor over in Trousdale County. He was over there, and it's always good to see Jack and read his column in our local papers.
It is.
Well, you're going to be doing a commercial after we go to a break here, but this happens every once in a while, and I'm glad you showed up a little bit early this morning. It's good to talk to you about something besides real estate, but we'll get to the real estate after we take a break here. So I guess we can say that that's part one of Coleman and Company, and we hope you'll keep it right here for more FM 98.9.
And let's see what's happening on the roadways. Want to thank our friends at Absolute Kubota. They have a deal designed to keep you ahead of schedule. Check out the world's #1 selling compact excavator plus 0% financing going on now until the end of the year. Absolute Kubota, 1506 West Main. Now at traffic, here's Chuck.
Good morning. They moved this rank 40 westbound at Fessler's as that traffic really starts to build in through Hermitage, Donaldson. Right now coming in from the Mount Juliet area, wrapping up a rank 24 eastbound. It's going to be near Bell Road. Of course, the heaviest flow of traffic's on the other side. They're on 24 westbound, coming up through that stretch of Antioch. Give yourself a little extra time out here this morning. Whether you need a new roof repair, roof inspection, independent roofing specialist, they've got you covered. IRSroofs.com. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
Hey, this is Paul with Bates Ford, and I got some exciting news for you. Bates Ford's moved into our new location at 1780 Franklin Road. That's right, Bates Ford's at 1780 Franklin Road, just off Hartman Drive and Interstate 40. We've got a much larger selection of vehicles to choose from, a state-of-the-art double-sized service department, so come see us at 1780 Franklin Road. That's Bates Ford, 615-444-8221. Bates Ford, the dealer will trade for anything that don't eat.
What is your passion? How can you use that passion to enrich your community? Hi, this is Melanie Minter, President and CEO of the Lebanon-Wilson County Chamber of Commerce. Your chamber is the resource for making connections to fulfill your passion. Whether education, nonprofit, agriculture, entertainment, or government relations, Wilson County offers a place for you to be involved. Your chamber connects businesses, individuals, and your passion to the community. We have an enthusiasm for excellence. Join us and catch the spirit. Call or visit our office at 149 Public Square in Lebanon.
Sunny skies will continue for today with highs in the mid-80s. Clear tonight, lows in the mid-60s. And then sunshine continues Friday and Saturday. Highs in the upper 80s to lower 90s. This weather forecast brought to you by Walker Auction and Realty, professional auction and real estate services. Get top dollar for your home, land, or personal property. Log on to MikeWalkerAuctions.com. They know auctions. With your Severe View forecast, I'm Storm Specialist Drew Richards.
We welcome you to part two of Coleman & Company here on this Thursday. Jay White joins us to talk about A.G. & Johnson Realty and Auction. It's located at 728 West Main in Lebanon. And, of course, their website, www.agandjohnson.com. And that phone number is 615-444-0909. And since you only hear me doing the phone number, I guess you know Helene is not here today. But Jay is here, and we'll start out talking about an auction this morning.
Good morning, Coleman. We will start out talking about an auction this morning. This Saturday morning, August the 24th, we're going to be out on Rocky Road, right here in the heart of Lebanon, just on the west side. Just past, just right past Publix and Kroger. Or before you get to Publix and Quarter, I'm coming into town this morning instead of going out. So on this side, but it's really close proximity to both those. But it got a nice modern brick house out there, 3 bedrooms, 2 baths. It's got a bonus room, beautiful level lot. and I always like to say, this house is right in town. It's in an established neighborhood, but it is very modern, very nice, and with no HOAs. Close to schools, close to about everything. But this, it's got, the master bath has double vanities, whirlpool tubs, separate showers, walk-in closets, just things that just nice amenities that you would that you want in a new home or close to a new home today. It has a new central heat and air unit's just been installed, so this house is almost move-in ready. So come out and be with us. It's a rare opportunity to buy, a modern house like this at auction here today, and so come out Saturday morning at 10 o'clock. Be with us.
What's the exact location of that?
It's actually 140 Rocky Road. It's right off of Hickory Ridge. And Rocky Road runs between Hickory Ridge Road and West Main Street. Mm-hmm. So I mean, you're just a short distance from West Main or Hickory Ridge, close to Hartman Drive, the interstate. It's just, if you're looking for a location and you want to live in town, you won't find a better location as far as logistics to get to where you want to go. You really won't. But come out and be with us.
Of course, invite everybody to take the auction is one way, of course, for real estate to move to find a buyer, and it's a good way. And it's worked great for you. You love to be the auctioneer, and you got a son that's following in your footsteps, and all that sort of thing. And I guess you sort of followed in Jim Agee's. He still does a little.
He still does. He still does. He's still with us every day. We don't know what we could do without Jim. Jim's the anchor.
But if you want to. If you're not ready for an auction, if you want to get your property disposed another way, you've got agents that can help you do that.
We do. We do a lot on the private side, on the residential lands, farms, building lots, those sort of things. We have folks that can help you with all your needs there, and also on the commercial level, we can help you on those needs also. If you're looking for to lease or buy in the commercial world, we have people there with a lot of knowledge in those areas. So any of your real estate needs, we'd be glad to help you with. We have knowledgeable people that can help you with those. But
let's talk about Hayden a little bit. You got to be, I think, very happy that he's kind of following in your footsteps and has got, I guess, his real estate license and an auctioneer. If you have to have a license to be an auctioneer, he's following your footsteps a lot.
Well, he really has. I mean, as a parent, I've got to be proud. Sometimes working with a sibling or working with family can get kind of it can be unnerving from time to time. But I'm very proud of Hayden. He's doing a great job. He has a passion for the auction business like no other, in my opinion. It's nice to see young people, and we have several young guys that are with us, and they all have a passion for it. You've got to have a love for it, or you couldn't do it. I mean, you couldn't do it day in and day out. But he was. When he was in high school, he came to me and told me that this is what he was going to do. He was going to kind of follow down in the direction that I followed, and I looked at him and I said, "Well, I'm okay with that, but you've got to get your college education first, and then if that's still what you want to do, that'll be fine." But before he got out of high school, he had already taken his real estate hours and to get his real estate license, and 2 or 3 days after he graduated from high school, he went to auction school in Missouri for the summer. So he came back, got his auctioneer license, and he's not today, but for a time there he was the youngest licensed auctioneer in the state. But he received got all his certifications, his schooling, and got through the state board test and those sort of things that you have to take as quickly as possible after he turned, old enough to get them. You had to be 18 to get them, and he had them at like 18. He was 18 in 3 months, and he had those.
Sounds like he's a pretty fast learner.
Well, he when he sets his mind to it, he is. When he sets his mind to it, as we all are. But it's we're very proud of everybody that works for us. We've got a lot of people that's been with us a long time.
One other thing we might talk about for a minute, Jay. the economy. We're such a growing area here. It's been good to be in the real estate business for several years. You ever wonder if the bubble's going to burst?
I say the bubble. We don't have a crystal ball. We don't know when and if or when it's coming. But we hope not. I think we're kind of protected here because we're, of our logistics in across our nation. We have all these interstates. I think when these companies want to locate, these warehouses, I think they punch in 2 or 3 bases, and I think we're the hot spot. I mean, it just turns red when, if you're transporting goods from, all the way across the southeast, this is just a good stopping off point for those goods, whether you're going east or west or north or south. And if it wasn't, it wouldn't have exploded like it has. And our landscape is changing, and it's going to continue to change. And I miss 25. I miss what our communities looked like 25 and 30 years ago, just like everybody. But I mean, things are going to change. I mean, we got to change with them.
All right. Well, to remind everybody real quickly one more time, the auction coming up here.
We'll be on Rocky Road at 140 Rocky Road Saturday morning at 10 o'clock. We got a nice modern little brick home out there to sell, and appreciate if you were interested in something like that, come out and be with us, and hope everybody enjoys the rest of the week at the fair.
All right. Well, thanks for being with us this morning. We'll see you next week. Jay White with A.G. and Johnson Realty and Auction, 728 West Main in Lebanon, 615-444-0909. We're about 20 minutes before the hour, and we're ready to talk Middle Tennessee Electric this morning with an annual meeting coming up. And Robert White is my guest. Good morning.
Good morning.
We're all set to go here, and glad to see you again. You were with us last week when we talked about Middle Tennessee Electric Day at the fair, which was Tuesday. We might start out with that just a minute. Did you make it over Tuesday?
Yes, I did. I had a great time.
Well, a lot of people had a great time, and I think there was more people maybe than y'all had anticipated. And there was a line out there to get those wonderful cheese sandwiches.
Mm-hmm. Yes, we had a line just going right down through the area there, and that's really exciting because that's what we want. We have the trailer there to serve. And we even had seniors coming up after the event was over looking for more grilled cheese, which is wonderful, and that's exactly what we want.
Yeah. Well, today, other than to just, I guess, thank everybody for coming out, showing their enthusiasm for the cheese sandwiches, but I think for Senior Day it was a magnificent success, really. But you've got an annual meeting that there's been an annual meeting for Middle Tennessee Electric since I was a little boy, because my father worked at Middle Tennessee Electric, and he would have to go to that, and for a few years there I would go with him. And I remember they had this one time at Middle Tennessee State University, but I think prior to that, over on a side street as you went into Murfreesboro, which wasn't nearly as big then as it is now, but the annual meeting has changed a little bit. You don't have room for all your members. The Middleton, the service area has grown so much over the years. You serve so many more people now than you did back in the 50s.
That's exactly right. We have over 300, right at about 335,000, close to 340,000 meters. We have over 195 going toward 200,000 members. And the last in-person annual meeting we had was in 2019. That was before the pandemic. And we had it at the Embassy Suites in Murfreesboro. It was so crowded that the fire marshal was like, you cannot get anyone else in here. We had over 2,500 folks who showed up for that annual meeting. And we knew then, oh my gracious, it just continues to grow. That was before the merger with the former Murfreesboro Electric Department. And so now that we've merged with them, now we serve the densest part of our service territory is in the city of Murfreesboro. So if you add those new members to the equation, we don't have a site. Well, it just so happened in 2020, the pandemic hit, and we were forced to have a virtual annual meeting. Well, now on this coming Saturday, we're getting ready to have our 5th virtual annual meeting, which basically works into what we're facing now.
Well, that I guess it's turned out to be a good alternative and a way to get the job done, and it was just time for a change.
That's correct. At the time, state law didn't allow co-ops to have virtual annual meetings, and so they made an exception because of the pandemic. And shortly after the pandemic, they passed a law that will allow co-ops to continue having virtual annual meetings.
I don't believe anybody's explained that to us before. I'm glad you brought that out, but it's it's still true that it's owned by the members it serves.
That's correct.
And you do this because the members actually make the choices for who's going to be their leaders.
That's exactly right. That's what's so unique about a co-op. This is my 40th year in the electric utility industry. And most of my career until I came to Middle Tennessee Electric was with a muni, what we call munis, owned by the municipalities. But at Middle Tennessee Electric, the owners are the members, the folks who we serve electricity and broadband services to. And so that is so different because the members own the co-op, the members vote for their board members.
So what's the big thing will be who gets selected to be trustees for the co-op then?
That's correct. What's so great about the annual membership meeting, which is what's going on Saturday, the bylaws require us to have elections. And so our board members rotate on a 3-year basis. And so as a matter of fact, the representative, Mr. Jim Mills, is up for election, and he's being uncontested. So he will continue to serve on our board of directors, and we do have a contested election in Murfreesboro in District 2E, and we have 2 individuals who are trying to become new board members because the current board member is rotating off, and so it's pretty exciting.
But if you're a member, say you live in Wilson County, you get to vote for all of them that are up. Not just your area.
That is correct. At large. That's what's so unique about our bylaws and what it allows. Any member who lives in Wilson County, Williamson County, Cannon County, outside the city limits of Murfreesboro, of that district, you can vote on anyone running. So anyone in Rutherford County should vote for Mr. Jim Mills when they go in to vote this week.
Yeah, right. Okay, it's time for us to take a break. Robert White with Middle Tennessee Electric, my guest. This is Coleman and Company, FM 98.9.
And let's see what's happening on the roadways thanks to Bates Ford and low price tire guarantee on all tires every day up to 30 days after the sale. There'll be any competitors pricing on the tires they sell. 1780 Franklin Road. Now at traffic, here's Chuck.
Good morning. Still some volume trying to get in from Murfreesboro, Rutherford County right now on 24 westbound up through Antioch. We've had a string of accidents down through there earlier on I-24 in Antioch. Just give yourself extra time. They moved this right to the side. 40 west over here at Fessler's. It's loading up pretty good now through Hermitage on 40 coming westbound there at Central Pike. It's heavy also Vietnam Vets westbound at Conference Drive. Hey, Prince's Hot Chicken has new items on the menu. PrincessHotChicken.com. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
Are you facing a challenging time that you need help navigating? Well, look no further than your local law firm of Kane & Crowell. At the offices of Kane & Crowell, our team of experienced attorneys is here to guide you through every step of the process. With a proven track record of success and a commitment to our clients and our community, look no further than the team at Kane & Crowell to fight for your rights and provide representation you deserve. 615-784-4800.
Are you thinking about buying a new home? Let A.G. & Johnson assist you with your new home search. From the first-time home buyer to the empty nester, we are experienced in all facets of the home buying process. We will be with you every step of the way. No matter if you are buying, selling, downsizing, or upsizing, we can assist you with your real estate needs. Call us at 615-444-0909 or find us online at agandjohnson.com or Facebook A.G. & Johnson Realty. A.G. & Johnson is your community's trusted realty and auction company.
We continue here on this Thursday morning. Robert White is with us from Middle Tennessee Electric. They are having their annual meeting this Saturday, and that's what he's here to talk about. We've already talked about a successful Middle Tennessee Electric Day, Tuesday at the fair, and that's now history, but some good memories from Tuesday, no doubt.
Oh, no doubt. It was a joy to have not only electric griddle there, but our safety demonstration trailer was there, and there were crowds surrounding it. And then we had our Energy Hub trailer, which had the vouchers for the creamery. And it has been so popular. Folks just showing up saying, I understand I can get a voucher. And that's exactly what we wanted them to come by, see us, get a voucher, get some free ice cream.
All right. Now, let's talk, kind of go from start to finish here with your meeting this Saturday. What time does it start?
It begins at 2 p.m.
Okay.
And if they go to our website, mte.com, they'll see across the banner, across the top, a link to watch it on the website or a link to our YouTube channel. And it will come on at 2 o'clock and it will be finished by 3 p.m.
Well, that's going to be a busy hour, I guess.
Yes, it will.
And plus, you've got some reports that have to be given, and then there's the election of these new, either re-election or election of new board members.
That's correct. That's correct. It will begin at 2, and our bylaws require that members of the co-op gets an annual update from the CEO and the chair of our board. And so they will see a video that will be from our CEO, Chris Jones, and the chair of our board, Mr. Steve Seeger from Williamson County. That's a requirement. You will see the election results from not only the board of directors, but we also have an election for the nominating committee, who serves as the committee to present a slate of directors to be considered. And then on top of that, we'll have a business meeting that is required that gives you an update from a financial perspective. And so you'll have another Wilson County director who will give us an update because she serves as our secretary treasurer, and that is Miss Vanessa Hickman.
Okay. Well, that's kind of it in a nutshell then, but all of this will be online.
That's correct.
Nobody goes to Murfreesboro to a meeting.
That's correct.
You get, however you can do this, mostly on computers, I guess. Is this, people do this on their cell phone?
Yes, you can watch it on your cell phone. Most people nowadays watch most of their content on cell phones or tablets. And so you're welcome to go to our YouTube channel or our website. It's very much mobile friendly. And so I hope they tune in at 2 p.m. because this co-op belongs to them and they deserve to get updates from as a member to know the state of the co-op.
Robert, in the past, there's been some voting prior to at the offices. Is that not happening?
Great point. Voting started this past Monday.
Oh, okay.
It goes through Saturday at 10 a.m. And I'm so glad you brought that up because most folks are used to voting during the week from about 8 to 5. But our offices will be open on Saturday starting at 7:30 a.m. and will be open until 10 a.m. And as soon as 10 a.m. hits, the Rutherford Election Commission, which serves as the basically the arbitrator of our election, they will shut the doors. They'll bring all the results to our main office. We have an independent auditor who works with the Election Commission to count the votes. The Middle Tennessee Electric has a totally hands-off experience with this because we want our members to realize that we are there to serve in their best interest. We have no intrusion into the process at all.
All right, now let's clear up one thing here. I'm not sure. Can you vote during that hour Saturday afternoon?
No, you can't. No. That's a great point. Oh, okay. Voting will be over by 10 a.m. Saturday morning.
All right, so you have to go to a local office in Wilson County. Most people are going to go out on Maddox Simpson, where the location is here in Lebanon, to vote. But that's the way to do that.
That is the way to do that.
And then to keep up with the meeting, you just plug in, tune in, get on the internet, between 2 and 3 on Saturday afternoon.
That's correct. And if you're busy, we're going to leave it on our YouTube channel so you can check it out Saturday night. Sunday, we're going to leave it on there for probably about a week. So members who aren't available to watch it live on Saturday can watch it at their convenience anytime after that.
All right, but the voting is actually, if somebody in Wilson County happened to be in Murfreesboro and running by the corporate office over there, they could stop there and vote just as well.
Yes, they can vote at any office.
Right. How do you identify as far as voting to make sure that you're a legitimate voter?
That's another great point. We will register folks whose name is on the account, and that's very important. if you are not an account holder. Now, as a spouse, you can be a joint member. So as long as you or your spouse's name is on the account as a joint member, either of you can vote. But that's an excellent point. You must have the name on the account to be registered.
I think my name and Helen's both are on there. Can we both vote?
No, you can't. You get one vote per account. These are great. I'm so glad you bring this up, because this actually comes up every year, because folks think, oh, both of our names are on the account. You get one vote per account.
Yeah. Do you have any idea of what percentage of people? I know when we have an election here, everybody does not vote. Even every eligible voter doesn't vote. We do well. Probably we have half of them that do. How many people vote in this, or percentage or something? You got anything on that?
It's not high enough. I bet it probably over the last several years has run close to 10%. And so that's why we encourage our members to be involved. But it truly represents what goes on nationally with elections. We really want people to be engaged, and this is their co-op. And I think one of the reasons we don't have a huge turnout is because I think our members trust our directors and trust the leadership of Chris Jones, and there has been no disruption or inconvenience to members as we serve them, but we still want them to know that this is their co-op, and we want them to get out to vote and call in and register for door prizes even if they don't vote.
Well, I'm kind of thinking of people who are in our listening audience here, primarily Wilson County, but we do get into the adjoining ones. But a member could vote over at Woodbury.
That's correct.
Until 10 o'clock Saturday morning.
That's correct.
Or in the Lebanon office here on Maddox Simpson. Is anywhere else in Wilson County?
Yes, in Mount Juliet. We have an office in Mount Juliet.
So it'll be available for people to vote.
That's correct, yes.
But if you happen to be passing through Murfreesboro or even Williamson County and Franklin or somewhere, you could vote there if you are legitimate.
We actually have 8 locations, and so any of those locations, they're welcome to come by and vote. And if they don't want to vote but want to register for door prizes, only thing you have to do is call in, and we will register you over the phone to make you eligible for the door prizes.
Well, it is, as I said earlier, it's quite a change, and it all began with COVID, I guess. But now that you're so big, and the last one you had at Embassy Suites was so crowded that you had the fire marshals worried, you're probably doing the next best thing. Now, obviously, you're saving some money in that respect, but as we talked about during the break, there are some other things that you have to do that do cost some money. So if you're breaking even, you're probably doing okay.
Yes, and our goal is to make sure that we treat the virtual meeting with as much care and consideration as we did the in-person meeting. And so every year we've tweaked that virtual meeting, and I think you're going to see the results on Saturday. We've expanded the video from feedback from members, and we really want folks to see is your friends and neighbors that you go to church with, that you go to the grocery store and you see them there. These are the folks who works at Middle Tennessee Electric. It's not someone from a far off land or in India in a call center. No, these are folks who work with you and you see in your neighborhoods. And so the video highlights those folks.
Well, we're one of the largest co-ops in the country, is my understanding.
Second largest.
And I think, honestly, Middle Tennessee Electric has had some rave reviews, really, some really good vibes about the way it operates, maybe kind of a model for other co-ops in the country.
Yes, we hope so. Well, that's exactly what we want to do.
Well, Robert, let me ask you, this is your regular job. You go to work every. What do you do when you're not pounding the feet, pounding pavement for the Wilson County Fair or for the annual meeting?
Well, what do I do at Middle Tennessee Electric?
Yeah.
I serve as the Vice President of Community Relations and Member Services, and so I always say I'm really concerned about meter to cash. So as meters are read, my area of expertise is to make sure that we get the bills billed correctly, that we're getting them sent to members, and then when you need to call us about anything relating to your bill, then we have a call center or folks in our offices who will serve our members member-facing. They're there to take care of members. And then on the revenue side, on the back side, we're responsible for making sure that bills are accurate and handled correctly when bills are paid. But then I also have the member program side for our key accounts, for our major, and we have some major key accounts in Wilson County. So key accounts, and then our energy services folks. And then from a community relations perspective, perspective, the electric griddle is all part of my area to make sure that we get into the communities we serve, that we're talking to our members, that we're understanding their needs, that we're listening and we're learning, and that we're changing based on feedback from them.
You have quite a responsibility here, but you were into this prior to your time at Middle Tennessee Electric.
That's correct, yes.
How long?
I worked at a Muni in Johnson City, Tennessee for 28 years, and then I went to Kentucky and I actually ran a small municipality electric broadband provider for 2.5 years and enjoyed myself. And then Chris Jones called one day and said, would you consider joining our team? And it's been a great almost 9 years.
Wow. And we won't say you've loved every minute of it, but you seem to be very happy with what you're
yes. It's a wonderful area. In East Tennessee, back in 2007 and 8, when the economy was going through what it did, in the Middle Tennessee area, we're in East Tennessee wondering, why are they still showing job growth? Why are they still attracting business? And because I worked for the chamber, I was the chair of the chamber board, and we kept wondering, what's going on in Middle Tennessee? And then we started realizing that they just have an energy there. And I always wondered, what would it be like to work in that area? So I enjoy living in the Middle Tennessee region.
One of the things I've noticed so many times now, it seems we get communication from Middle Tennessee Electric about ways to cut your electric bill, ways that you might be wasting electricity. You would think you would want to, the more electricity I use, the bigger my bill's going to be, the more money it's coming into you. But
no, we're trying to help you use less. And that's one thing I heard from a board member years ago when he came on the board in Johnson City. He said, I can't understand this. He says, as a businessman, I've never served on a board where you teach your customers or for us members how to use less of your product. Yeah. And that's what we do, because we realize that we want you to use what you need, and we'll make sure that you have what you need when you need it. But if you don't need it, we want to help you use less.
All right, we got just 40 seconds here. The election for the new officers from Middle Tennessee Electric. You do this at for most people it's going to be Maddox, Simpson, or in Mount Juliet if you're in Wilson County. You don't do that online, but the meeting will be online this Saturday, 2 to 3 o'clock.
You got it, 2 to 3 o'clock, mte.com. Check it out.
mte.com. Robert White, thank you so much. A lot of good information here this morning, and been my privilege to have you on 2 weeks in a row. Enjoyed it. Thank you so much. We'll see you next time, whenever that is.
Sounds good.
All right. That's it for a Thursday. Hope you'll join us tomorrow for the Friday edition. Till then, I wish you a tremendous day.